The ceramic cup shattered against the cafe floor, coffee splashing across polished tiles like spilled blood, and in that frozen second every head turned toward the single father standing alone beside the high chair. His little girl flinched at the sound. A tall man in a designer jacket laughed loudly, cruelly, pointing at the father's worn boots and faded hoodie as if poverty were a performance staged for his amusement. The room felt tight, heavy with judgment, and the father's jaw flexed not in anger, but in restraint learned the hardest way. What no one in that cafe knew was that the quiet man they were mocking had once moved through war zones like a ghost, trained under the most elite unit in the U.S. Army, Delta Force, and that some legends never truly retire. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet strength of good fathers, take a moment right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel, Kindness Stories. Stories like this remind us who we really are. His name was Daniel Mercer, 38 years old, broad-shouldered but slightly stooped now, not from weakness but from the invisible weight he carried. His hair was cut short, military habit he never broke, streaked faintly with early gray at the temples. There was a thin scar along his left eyebrow and another that disappeared beneath his collarbone, souvenirs from places he never spoke about. But none of that mattered to the man laughing at him. All he saw was a single dad struggling to calm a 5-year-old girl who had accidentally knocked over a cup. Daniel's daughter, Lily, clung to his leg, her tiny fingers fisting the fabric of his jeans. She had her mother's soft brown curls and enormous hazel eyes that always looked like they were trying to understand a world that had already taken too much from her. Her pink sweater was slightly too small, sleeves creeping above her wrists because Daniel hadn't had time to. Daniel stood to his full height. He was taller than most in the room, though he carried himself in a way that never demanded attention. His shoulders squared slightly, almost imperceptibly. The room quieted, sensing a shift they couldn't name. The bully pushed his chair back abruptly and stepped forward, invading Daniel's space with the casual arrogance of someone who had never been hit in the mouth for underestimating another man. He poked a finger into Daniel's chest. It was a mistake. Daniel didn't strike. He didn't shout. He simply moved. It happened in a blink, fluid and controlled. Daniel's hand captured the man's wrist with precise pressure at the joint, pivoting his body just enough to redirect momentum. The bully found himself off balance, his arm locked in a hold so efficient it felt almost gentle, until he realized he couldn't move. Gasps rippled through the cafe. Chairs scraped backward. Daniel's eyes were calm. Not furious. Calm. That was what terrified everyone. He leaned close enough that only the bully could hear his breath. The hold wasn't painful yet, but it promised consequences if provoked. Years of training thrummed beneath his skin, muscle memory awakened without effort. He released the man just as swiftly, stepping back, palms open, creating distance instead of escalating. The bully stumbled, humiliated, face flushed deeper than the spilled coffee. Daniel picked up Lily, settling her on his hip as if nothing extraordinary had happened. He turned toward the door. But fate, as it often does, had one more twist waiting. The cafe door burst open with chaotic urgency. A masked man rushed inside, brandishing a handgun, shouting for everyone to get down. The world slowed. Screams pierced the air. The bully dropped instantly to the floor. Cups shattered. Phones clattered. Daniel's body shifted before his mind fully processed it. Lily's safety became the axis around which everything revolved. He lowered her gently behind the heavy counter near the entrance.